Hi, welcome to the CrafteeManatee. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this cauldron coaster. This cauldron coaster is part of my 2024 Crochetaween pattern collection, where during the month of October I will be posting 13 different Halloween inspired crochet patterns. They'll all be available in a playlist here on my channel, so make sure to check that out for more Halloween inspired patterns. This cauldron coaster is part of a set of coasters that I'm releasing this month. We also have the pumpkin and the ghost, and all three of these coasters go together very well. The centers of them are all worked exactly the same, and the only differences come on these outside rounds where we start to make them into different shapes. So make sure to check out all of these coasters on the playlist. If these two aren't out yet, they will be out very soon. This Crochet Cauldron coaster is also available as a written pattern for free over on Ribblr, so if you prefer to follow along to a written pattern, you can check that out as well. Here are the materials that you're going to need to crochet this cauldron coaster. First, you're going to need about 14 grams of worsted weight yarn in black, or whatever color you want the center of the cauldron to be. I'm going to work it in gray today just so that it is easier to see on camera because black yarn is very difficult to see, so I'll be working in gray. You'll also need about 6 grams of worsted weight yarn in green. I'm using a lighter green today, again a little bit easier to see on camera, and it goes with the gray a bit better. We will be using a 5mm crochet hook or the letter H. And finally, we will need scissors and a tapestry needle for cutting the yarn tails and weaving them in at the very end. To get started crocheting the cauldron coaster, we are going to take our gray yarn or black, whatever color you are using for the main bit of the cauldron, and we are going to make a magic ring and then make 6 single crochet stitches into the center of that magic ring. And now we can pull this yarn tail to close up the magic ring. And then we will make a slip stitch into the first stitch of this ring to close it up. For the next round, we are going to work a puff stitch round. So we are going to work a puff stitch and a single crochet stitch all in one stitch. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times, and we will end up with a total of 12 stitches at the end of this round. So we're going to go ahead and work a puff stitch. And to work a puff stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and do that again, and do it one more time. So we have 3 yarn overs and pull up a loop, and then we are going to yarn over again and pull through all of those loops on our hook. And now we are going to work 1 single crochet stitch in the same stitch that we just worked that puff stitch in. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times. So we will have 6 puff stitches and 6 single crochet stitches when we're done with this round. For the next round, we are going to make some chain spaces. So to work this round, we are going to chain 1 and then skip 1 stitch and work 2 double crochet stitches both in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times around for a total of 18 stitches. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and skip 1 stitch, and then we will work 2 double crochet stitches into the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times. For the next round, we're going to single crochet 2 and then increase, and we're going to repeat that 5 more times for a total of 24 stitches. So we're going to go ahead and single crochet 2, and some of those single crochet stitches are going to be in the chain spaces, so just do your best to get into that stitch. It's okay if you just get under one loop. So we're going to single crochet 2, and then increase, and you'll repeat that 5 more times. And now we are going to work our second puff stitch round. So for this round, we are going to work 3 puff stitches, and then we're going to work a puff stitch and a single crochet stitch, both in the next stitch. And that's going to bring our total number of stitches in this round up to 30. So we're going to go ahead and work 3 puff stitches. So again, to work a puff stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, and we're going to do that 3 times. And now we are going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops. And now work 2 more puff stitches. And now we are going to work a puff stitch and a single crochet stitch, both in the following stitch. And now repeat what we have just worked 5 more times around, and I'll meet you back here once we have our second puff stitch row all worked. Now that we have worked our second round of puff stitches, we're now going to work a second round of these chain space stitches. So this round is a fairly long repeat, but what we're going to do is chain 1 and then skip 1 stitch, and then work 2 double crochet stitches, then chain 1 and skip 1 stitch, and work 2 double crochet stitches in the next stitch. So I'm going to work the first repeat with you here, and then feel free to pause the video to work the rest, or you can rewind to crochet along with me again. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and skip 1 stitch, and then work 2 double crochet stitches. Now we're going to chain 1 and skip 1 stitch, and we're going to work 2 double crochet stitches in the next stitch. And now go ahead and repeat that 5 more times. We'll have a total of 36 stitches at the end of this round, and I will meet you back here once we have completed this round. And now we have the center of our coaster all complete. So now we're going to start working some of the outside rounds to start making it look like a cauldron. So as you can see, we have this center done. The center is the same on all of these coasters in the set. And now we need to start working these shell stitches, and then we will move on to creating the bobble stitches for the top of the cauldron. For this round, we are going to make 5 half double crochet stitches in the chain spaces of the previous round, and we're going to then slip stitch into the next stitch and skip 1 stitch. And we'll repeat that 5 more times, so we'll have a total of 6 shell stitches at the end of this round. So we're not going to work all the way to the beginning of the round, we're going to stop about halfway through, and then the top will be that green color. So we'll go ahead and work 5 half double crochet stitches in this chain space of the previous round. And now we will slip stitch into the next stitch and skip 1 stitch, and we're going to repeat that 5 more times. Once we are finished with those 6 shells, this is what our cauldron will be looking like. And now we are going to need to switch to using green yarn. So we are going to attach the green yarn, and we're going to single crochet 19. So again, we're going to follow the pattern and skip that stitch because that was the last repeat. And then we are going to single crochet 19. Once you finished single crocheting those 19 stitches, we will now be back to the beginning of the round, right where those shell stitches started. And now we are done working in rounds. We're now going to be working in rows to make the coaster taller instead of just continuing around in a circle. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work. And then we are going to single crochet 1 and bobble stitch, and then we're going to repeat that 8 more times, and then single crochet 1. So we're going to make a single crochet stitch, and then we are going to make a bobble stitch. And to make a bobble stitch, we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, and we're going to pull through 2 of the loops on our hook. And then we're going to do that again, yarning over, pulling up a loop, pulling through 2, and again. And you're going to continue this until there are 6 loops on your hook. So you can count. We're at 5 right now, so we need to do 1 more. And now we are going to yarn over and pull through all 6 of those loops. And it's going to create this bobble stitch on the opposite side, but right now we're working on the wrong side, so those bobble stitches will be pushed towards the front of the coaster, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and single crochet and bobble stitch 8 more times. And now I am at the end of our green section, and we are going to just work 1 single crochet stitch in that last stitch. And we can pull these yarn tails tight, and we are good to cut off the gray yarn now. So we can set that yarn aside, and we'll just be working in green. So we can now chain 1 and turn our work. And for this round, we are going to be working 1 single crochet stitch and then a decrease stitch. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times and then single crochet 1. And that is going to bring our stitch count down to 13 stitches. So we will single crochet 1 and then work a decrease stitch. And we'll repeat that 5 more times. And now we will work 1 single crochet in this final stitch. And now chain 1 and turn your work. And this is going to be another bobble stitch row. So we are going to single crochet 1 and then work a bobble stitch, and we'll repeat that 5 more times and then work 1 single crochet stitch in the final stitch. So I will meet you back here after we have worked all of those bobble stitches along this side. Once you're finished with that final bobble of this row, we are going to just single crochet one, and then chain one and turn our work. For this row, we are going to be working another decrease row. So we're going to single crochet one and then decrease, and repeat that 5 more times, and then single crochet one in the last stitch that is remaining. And that's going to bring our stitch count down to 9. So we're going to single crochet one and then decrease, and repeat that 3 more times. And now single crochet one in that final stitch, and then we can chain one and turn our work. And now we're going to be working on the final row of bobble stitches for this top part of our cauldron. So we're going to single crochet one and then work a bobble stitch, and repeat that 3 more times, and then we'll single crochet in that final stitch. So go ahead and single crochet one and then make a bobble stitch, and we'll repeat that 3 more times, and I'll meet you back here once we're at the end of this row. And now we can work one single crochet stitch into that final stitch, and we can fasten off the green yarn. And here is the base of our cauldron coaster all completed. Now all we have to do is add on the handles for the cauldron, and then tuck in all of the yarn tails, and we'll be good to go. To attach the handles of the cauldron, we are going to switch back to our black yarn, or in my case today, our gray yarn. And we're going to attach the gray yarn right below the start of the green on either side of the cauldron. So I'm going to go ahead and start over on the left side. So we'll go ahead and insert our hook right below where that green yarn starts. And we will chain one to attach it, and now chain 10. And now we will slip stitch between the next 2 shells. So we're going to skip this one shell, and we'll make a slip stitch down into that next shell. And now chain 1 and turn your work, and we're going to now single crochet along the chain that we just made. So we're going to single crochet 10 all in this chain. And now we can slip stitch back into that stitch that we started in to help anchor on our handle, and we can fasten off the yarn. And now we can repeat the same thing on the other side. So we're going to insert our hook through the row right below where the green starts, and this time we'll be working along the back side, but that is fine. So we will attach our yarn, chain 1 to attach it, and now chain 10. And again, we will skip 1 shell and slip stitch between the next 2 shells, chain 1 and turn your work, and now we will single crochet in all 10 of those chains. And now we will slip stitch back down into the base of the cauldron and fasten off our yarn. And now we have finished crocheting our cauldron coaster, and all that's left to do is to tuck in all of these yarn tails. So I'm going to flip it around and I will show you how to weave in one of these yarn tails. And what we're going to do is thread it through our needle. And then we are going to insert the yarn tail through some of these stitches along the back side. So you can see that you cannot see your needle through the front. So that is exactly what we want. We want this yarn tail to stay hidden. And now I'm going to skip one stitch and go in the opposite direction so it doesn't pull out. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the same direction that we started in. I find that going in 3 different directions really helps that yarn tail stay nice and secure. And now we can cut off the yarn tail. And we're going to do the exact same thing to every single yarn tail all the way around the cauldron. And I'll meet you back here once we have cleaned up our coaster. And here is our finished cauldron coaster. I hope you enjoyed today's video learning how to crochet your own cauldron coaster. If you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more crochet patterns and tutorials like this one. Also make sure to check out the 2024 Crochetaween pattern collection here on the channel for more Halloween inspired crochet patterns. If you do decide to make your own crochet cauldron coaster, I would love to see it. You can tag me on Instagram at the CrafteeManatee, or you can leave a project page over on Ribblr. You can also find all of my other patterns on Ravelry, Etsy, and Ribblr. Thanks for watching. Bye.